All right, so let's dive into something kind of mind-blowing today. The future of law, AI in the courtroom.
Hmm.
And, you sent over some really thought-provoking pieces on this, including excerpts from an article called Will AI Replace Lawyers?
Right.
And some infographics on the tech.
Yeah.
What's really captured my attention is how the Dubai International Financial Center Courts,
Mm-hmm.
the DIFC,
Yes.
are handling this whole AI explosion.
Yeah. It is fascinating, isn't it? They're not shying away from the tech at all.
Right.
In fact, they're sort of diving in headfirst into regulating it with their Practical Guidance Note number 2 of 2023.
Okay.
And these guidelines address how AI tools can be used in their courts, which operate under English common law right there in the UAE.
Okay, so the DIFC is being super forward-thinking.
Yeah.
But what exactly are these AI tools we're talking about?
Well, you've probably heard of large language models.
Yeah.
Think of them as incredibly powerful algorithms trained on, mountains of text and code.
Right.
They can churn out human quality writing, which is obviously a huge deal for drafting legal documents.
Yeah.
Then you have generative content generators,
Okay.
which are similar but go beyond just text. They can create things like images, audio, even video,
Wow.
which could be revolutionary for presenting evidence or even recreating crime scenes.
Wow, that's some serious sci-fi stuff coming to life.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the DIFC isn't just giving lawyers free rein to use these tools however they want.
No, exactly. They're all about responsible integration.
Okay.
The DIFC actually sees huge potential for AI to improve the legal system.
Hmm.
Think, more efficient processes, increased accuracy, even better access to legal services for people who might not be able to afford traditional representation.
So it's not about replacing human lawyers, but making them better.
Exactly. The idea is to free up lawyers from the more tedious, repetitive tasks.
Right.
Let the AI handle document review or basic research,
Wow.
while the human lawyers can focus on strategy, client interaction,
Right.
and the more complex aspects of a case.
That makes a lot of sense. But even with the best intentions, there have to be concerns about how this plays out in practice. I mean, we're talking about people's lives and freedoms here.
Absolutely. And the DIFC addresses that head on in their guidelines.
Right.
One of the biggest safeguards is transparency.
Okay.
So if a lawyer wants to use AI-generated content in a case,
Right.
they have to get consent from all parties involved, or they need the court's approval. No sneaking AI under the radar.
So everyone knows what's going on,
Exactly.
which is crucial for maintaining trust in the system.
Right. And it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Lawyers also have to be upfront with their clients about using AI.
Uh-huh.
Before they even start utilizing these tools, they need to explain it to their clients,
Yeah.
get their explicit consent.
It's all about keeping clients informed and involved in the process, which is a good thing. But let's be realistic. Can AI truly replace a human lawyer's judgment, especially when it comes to something as complex as the law?
That's the million-dollar question. And the DIFC is realistic about the limitations of AI. While it can process information and predict outcomes based on data, it doesn't have that human element of intuition, moral reasoning, or empathy.
Right, like that gut feeling a lawyer gets when they send something's off with a witness or a piece of evidence. Can AI replicate that?
Not yet, at least.
Okay.
And there's also the potential for error.
Right.
Even the most advanced AI can make mistakes.
Yeah.
Exhibit biases based on the data it was trained on, or generate misleading information.
It seems like the legal profession, with its reliance on precedent interpretation and reasoning, still requires a human touch to navigate those complexities.
Exactly. Over-reliance on AI could lead to inaccuracies, misinterpretations of the law,
Yeah.
and potentially even ethical slip-ups.
So AI, powerful tool, but definitely needs human oversight. How does this actually play out in the DIFC courts? How is this practical guidance note shaping the way legal work is done?
Well, one of the key things the guidelines emphasize is the human element in ensuring accuracy. Basically, even if AI generates a document or a piece of evidence, a human lawyer still needs to be involved in making sure it's valid and legally sound.
So it's like having a double-check system in place. AI can speed things up, but the human lawyer is ultimately accountable for making sure everything is done right.
Exactly. And that includes safeguarding client confidentiality, making sure they're following data protection laws, and respecting intellectual property rights.
They've even imposed restrictions on AI's role in drafting certain crucial legal documents. What's the reasoning behind that?
A good example is witness statements.
Okay.
The DISC is very specific.
Yeah.
If AI is used to help draft a statement, it has to be clearly labeled as AI assisted.
Okay.
The exact wording required is written account of the evidence a witness would have otherwise submitted orally.
Okay.
This ensures transparency and lets the court know AI was involved in the process.
And according to Article 29.2 of the rules of the DIFC Court, or RDC, only a human can guarantee that requirement is met.
Precisely. They're drawing a clear line. AI can assist, but the human lawyer is still in charge.
It sounds like the DIFC is paving the way for a future where lawyers and AI work together, each playing to their strengths.
That's exactly what their guidelines suggest. It's a collaborative approach, embracing innovation, but also maintaining those core values of the legal profession.
So will AI replace lawyers? The DIFC seems to be saying not so fast.
Right.
They're showing how AI can be integrated responsibly and ethically, but it's not a complete takeover. What do you think about this, listener? Where do you see the line between human and machine in the future of law?
We'll be back in a moment to explore more the practical implications of all this, but that's a question worth pondering.
It's interesting to think about the potential benefits, this collaborative approach between lawyers and AI.
Right.
The DISC seems to be betting on it big time.
They are. And, it's not hard to see why AI has the potential to make the legal system, more efficient,
Right.
more accurate. Imagine being able to analyze mountains of legal documents in a fraction of the time it would take a human.
That would free up lawyers to focus on the, more strategic aspects of a case, right?
Exactly. They could spend more time understanding their clients' needs, crafting legal arguments, negotiating settlements,
Yeah.
all things that require that human touch.
And it could even level the playing field for people who can't afford expensive legal representation.
Right.
If AI can help lawyers handle more cases in less time, legal services could become, more accessible,
Right.
more affordable.
Absolutely.
That's a key point. Increased access to justice is a huge potential benefit of AI in law.
Absolutely.
But of course, with any new technology, there are potential downsides. You mentioned bias in AI earlier.
Right.
How could that play out in the legal setting?
It's a valid concern. AI algorithms are only as good as the data that they're trained on.
Right.
And if that data reflects existing biases in the legal system, those biases could be amplified by AI.
So, for example, if an AI is trained on data that shows a disproportionate number of convictions for certain demographics,
Right.
it might be more likely to recommend harsher sentences for individuals from those groups, even if the facts of the case don't warrant it.
Exactly. That's why it's so crucial to have human oversight.
Right.
Lawyers need to understand how these algorithms work,
Yeah.
be able to identify and challenge any potential biases.
And what about data privacy? Legal cases often involve highly sensitive information. How do we ensure that that's protected when AI is involved?
Yeah, data security is paramount. The DIFC guidelines are very clear on this point.
Okay.
Any AI systems used in legal proceedings need to comply with strict data protection laws.
Okay.
Client confidentiality cannot be compromised.
So encryption, secure storage, all of those measures need to be in place.
Absolutely. And lawyers need to be educated on best practices for handling sensitive data in an AI-driven environment.
Right.
It's a new skill set that's becoming increasingly important.
It's almost like we need a new legal specialty AI law.
You might be onto something. We're already seeing the emergence of specialized legal rules focused on data privacy, cybersecurity, and the ethical implications of AI.
It's a whole new frontier in law, and it's exciting to think about the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Let's shift gears a bit and delve deeper into those restrictions the DISC has placed on AI's role in drafting legal documents.
Okay.
You mentioned witness statements earlier.
Right.
Yes, it's fascinating. In an age where AI can write everything from screenplays to scientific papers, why is it restricted from drafting something like a witness statement?
Because as advanced as AI is, it still lacks the nuanced understanding of human behavior,
Right.
legal strategy, and the art of persuasion that's required to craft a truly effective witness statement.
It's like the difference between a computer-generated news report and a piece of investigative journalism.
Right.
The computer can spit out the facts, but it takes a human journalist to understand the context, the motivations,
Right.
the human impact of a story.
Exactly.
The human lawyer brings that same level of insight and expertise to a witness statement. They know how to elicit the most relevant information from a witness,
Right.
how to frame that information in a way that supports their client's case, how to anticipate potential challenges from the opposing counsel.
Right.
So while an AI might be able to generate a basic draft based on, facts and data, It's the human lawyer who shapes that draft into a powerful legal tool.
Exactly. It's about strategy, persuasion, and understanding the psychology of the courtroom,
Right.
things that AI hasn't mastered yet.
And let's not forget the ethical implications. The DIFC guidelines are all about transparency.
Right.
The court needs to know that a human lawyer has reviewed, validated,
Mm-hmm.
and taken responsibility for the content of that witness statement.
Right. It goes back to that core principle. AI can assist, but the human lawyer remains ultimately responsible.
It's a line that the DIFC is drawing very clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and it raises some intriguing questions about the future of law.
Yeah.
Will there ever be a point where AI becomes so sophisticated that it can truly replace human judgment in a legal setting?
Mm-hmm.
Or will we always need that human element of intuition, empathy, and ethical reasoning?
That's a question we'll be grappling with for years to come.
Yeah.
And it's not just a legal question, it's a societal one as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
Mhm.
We need to have these conversations about the role of humans and machines in shaping our future.
We'll be back in a moment to continue exploring these questions and what they might mean for you, our listener. It's pretty clear that the DIFC is taking a, really proactive approach to AI and law.
Yeah.
They're not just, letting things unfold. They're actively shaping the landscape. What do you think other legal systems around the world can learn from their approach?
I think there's a lot to learn from the DIFC's emphasis on balance. They're embracing the potential of AI
Right.
while also recognizing the importance of human oversight and the
Yeah.
ethical considerations.
They
It's
are.
a model that, could be adapted and implemented in, various legal systems globally.
Their practical guidance note almost feels like a roadmap, especially for those who are just starting to grapple with the implications of AI in law.
Absolutely. It provides a framework for thinking about how to integrate AI responsibly, ensuring transparency, accountability, and data protection.
Going through all this research with you has really highlighted the importance of human judgment in law. It seems like no matter how sophisticated AI gets, there will always be a need for that human element.
I agree. Law is not just about, crunching numbers or applying algorithms.
Right.
It's about understanding the nuances of human behavior, interpreting complex legal principles, and ultimately seeking justice.
Yeah.
Those are things that AI, at least for now,
Right.
can't replicate.
It's about that gut feeling a lawyer gets when something doesn't feel right, or that creative spark that leads to a breakthrough in a case forward. AI can be an incredible tool,
Right.
but it can't replace those uniquely human qualities.
Exactly. And the DIFC guidelines acknowledge that they emphasize that AI should be used to enhance, not replace human judgment. The lawyer remains ultimately responsible for the decisions made and the actions taken, even when using AI tools.
It's a powerful reminder that technology should serve us, not the other way around.
And it's a call to action for all of us, not just lawyers, to engage in thoughtful conversations about the role of AI in our lives. We need to consider the ethical implications, the potential biases, and the safeguards we need to put in place to ensure AI is used for good.
These are questions that go far beyond the legal profession. They're questions about the future of work, the nature of intelligence, and what it means to be human in an increasingly automated world.
The DIFC, with its forward-thinking approach, is helping to start that conversation.
Yeah.
They're showing that we can embrace innovation while still upholding the values that matter most: fairness, justice, and the human element in decision-making.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of AI and law, listener. We hope this has given you a new perspective on the potential and the challenges of this rapidly evolving field.
As AI continues to advance, we need to ensure its development and implementation are guided by a commitment to justice, fairness, and the enduring value of human judgment. The future of law is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to ensure it's a future we can all be proud of.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration. Keep asking those tough questions, keep diving deep, and keep shaping the future you want to see.